respectful races, but all 7 of us going for RorO really speaks volumes here, I believe.
Yeah, I think it does. Rain has the momentum, though, of his team behind him right now with the 2 wins. He's got, like, no pressure on him in a sense because he knows that Sulky and his EBZ is also highly favored against Solar, and even if both of them lose, then they can go to the ace match. So for him, I feel like there's no real heavy pressure right now, whereas not only is Samsung 0-2, but they have that extra warning from the Triple G, and a lot of pressure on RorO right now. Definitely still favor him here, but Rain could take a win here. Let's take a look at RorO's stats versus Protoss. 8-2. Almost every single one of those games played on this map. Coming off of a win here, but did take 2 losses in the most recent 5. And with 18-7, he's also really high up there in the winner's rank.
Yeah. He's really close to the top. He's actually one of the most winningest players while having the most or the least amount of losses, so very good ratio there. Even though it doesn't really come into effect in the winner's ranking, still very, very strong player here for Samsung.
This is very impressive. RorO, can he be the Zerg that Samsung needs right now? Let's find out right now on RorO's map, King Sejong Station.
Up here in the top left in the orange for SK Telecom, it's Rain.
Down near the bottom right on his very own map. He owns it. In fact, he bought it. It's RorO. Bought it with all those wins he's gotten here, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you know, there's a lot of debate about which country actually owns Antarctica, but it's actually RorO. He's also signed someone's shirt.
Yeah, Samsung Galaxy shirt signed by RorO himself in both English and Korean.
Wow.
I believe that's one of the teas you can get down here if you spin the wheel. You can win one of those things.
Really? I need to spin the wheel then, man.
I believe. Or was that the Star Points one? Maybe it was the Star Points.
I think it's the Star Points.
Okay, my bad.
But, you know, if you want to get Star Points, you just need to come down here and get it. Now, unfortunately, we don't yet have Team Salmon gear available, but if you want to, you can just go to the store and buy it. It's available in most retail locations.
Yeah. Pick up salmon.
No matter where you're from. All you have to do is wear the gear. Be part of the team.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's all you got to do. Take a picture, tweet at us, and you get to be part of the team.
Yeah. So we'll see. He says more than his lab meeting. This match is much more important.
Wow.
Saying sorry to his professor. He's like, I got to be here.
And we see some gritty builds here. We see Nexus first versus going to be a Hatch first once he scouts it.
Will he block it?
No. It looks like he's going to scout each other. He's going to scout the one pile, and he's going to put that drone at the natural, I feel. Oh, we got some fanboys.
Oh, a lot of fans from all over the world here.
Wow, that's actually...
Look at that repping SKT1.
Wow.
They're actually right behind us, too.
Yeah. They got really good seats.
Yeah, they got front row seats, someone could say.
Yeah. So let's take a look at how this unfolds. We see a gateway go down after he knows that he's been scouted. You know, it's not necessary for him to make a forge because it's going to be most likely the response to be double hatch before pool as a response to this. So there goes the second hatchery. He can confirm this. Now with his probe, knows he's made the right choice. That drone looks likely to steal a gas, but does not quite get it.
Yeah, he's kind of just checking out what's going on here, making sure to get knowledge of the 2 assimilators. He needs to see if it's going to be 2 gas or 1 gas. Give him an idea of what's going to be some sort of earlier pressure than he might think. And, you know, maybe Rain could do something crazy like get a fast third Nexus, but I doubt that would ever happen.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra information. Never hurts. Never hurt anybody.
Yeah. See RorO dropping down that gas first.
Yeah, very important scout there, too. He's going to know exactly when the Zergling speed is going to be online, so he's going to have to be careful when he moves out in the map, and when he takes that third base especially, that Zergling timing can kill it for sure if he's not careful. And I actually think we'll probably see a Stargate from this, considering he scouts the Zergling speed. The best kind of option is to go for Oracle at this point, and that'll actually add a lot of defense to your third base when you decide to take it.
Well, indeed. Core is done, so you want to see is there Stargate here? Where is it? There it is. Finds it.
This Overlord sees everything, literally.
Yep, that's a map pack load right there.
have all the info. And I'll be back at home. He's going to add his queens, add a few more drones. We'll have his spore crawler set in appropriate timing. The Overlord will also be able to identify whether it's Phoenixes or Oracles, just simply because if the Overlord lives, it's Oracles. If the Overlord dies, it's Phoenixes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we can even physically see it. In fact, it looks like.
Considering he's like sitting on top of it, essentially, we might even just see Phoenix from this because Oracles, completely scouted out, will not do damage or should not do damage.
But they can be a good way to secure a third base. But Phoenix is what Rain is more known for.
Definitely the better option.
That's what we see here. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got it rallied toward the base of RorO. I think he would want to clean up those Overlords first, especially since RorO is pretty much sacrificed it at this point, getting all that information.
Yeah. And we have seen in time that sometimes a Protoss player will go Phoenix into Oracle if they can deal with the Overlord and kind of like get him away in time. But I don't think we're going to see it considering the second Phoenix is about to finish. It's a nice little sneaky play you can do.
Yeah. Well, Forge coming up, Gate being added. Just looks like he's going to add one for now. Then we'll add the rest of his gates at his third Nexus, which he'll be adding coming up shortly here. No spores just yet, but he doesn't need them quite yet. But we'll probably want to add those pretty soon just to protect his queens. He's making 3 additional ones right now for that extra safety. So he's going to should go up to 6, if I'm not mistaken.
I actually like this a lot. It's
Queen
good
City.
Yeah, Queen City.
Queentropolis, man. New queens.
And I mean, this can go into the late game especially. When you have like a lot of queens, you can go into that Ultralisk style especially, which is definitely complements it a lot. And with the great creep spread these 3 queens are going to give out, as well as anti-air defense, yeah, we could definitely see a lot of creep spread across the map in time for these Ultras, if he chooses to go there.
So here comes the first few lifts. He knows with this many queens, he can't kill a queen, just grabs a drone. And we'll come over to this location perhaps in a moment.
Yeah.
Big Ling counterattack meanwhile. He's got to be ready for that. I don't think he's going to get any damage done, but he wants to see if there's a third Nexus added yet, and also just wants to poke at the front. Again, caught a little bit off out of position here.
A couple more shots on that Phoenix would have killed it. This guy is a little bit late to the party. Takes a lot of damage as well.
Does get a nice spot, though, on this queen. It should go down.
This is the problem with making no spores whatsoever. You will lose queens like this, especially when there's 4 or 5 Phoenix in the map.
Yeah, now he's just like, well, I guess I got to make these. I wish I could have skipped it, but now I made extra queens and I'm going to make spores. Spores will be useful later, too, against TTs possibly, and warp prisms and whatnot. So I think it's a good investment. Now going up to 65 drones. Roach Warren coming down at a very late timing. No third base yet, still for Rain, and adds a robotics bay, so it looks like you want to play it a little bit more safely. Don't think he'll be aggressive. I don't think he's going to attack here.
No, I don't think he'll attack. He's simply getting Colossus to deal with these Zerglings especially. If they're out in force, it can be a problem without Colossi or any sort of unit that's going to do a lot of damage against Zerglings in general. But he should have enough considering the position he's in and considering he's got sentries.
Yeah. We're seeing the +1 of melee upgrades coming in here for RorO, so kind of telepathing what kind of play he's going to want to use. He's going to want to use these Zerglings definitely, and maybe the Ultralisk later on.
Yeah, very high chance of that. We already see Void Rays being added here for Rain, as that third base comes up pretty late, but the Void Ray is going to help defend it because he doesn't have a wall set up, he doesn't have those cannons up or anything yet. And again, a few drones being picked off here. He's actually being very diligent about getting these drones, but does lose a Phoenix this time. But a lot of kills here, working out for him pretty well. He's only 6 workers behind at this moment in time. Yep. Not ideal for the Zerg player.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing this kind of reaction to Phoenix play, getting a lot of queens. It's not as good defense as like 2 spore crawlers at each base. That kind of shuts Phoenix play down a lot more. But I mean, it's good for the creep spread, as we were saying earlier, and it's good for the later game if it gets to that stage and we do see Ultras. But we could very well see Swarm Host in this map, considering it is King Sejong, and it's much easier to split it and much easier to kind of, trade very efficiently with Locusts.
Picking up a few more drones here on the main.
Wow, this is actually a lot of drones dead now.
Yep, going up to 16 now. He picks off the 3 gas drones, notably.
Yeah, he always
the time
gets
on
those.
that. Yep. They're on the edge. You want to reduce the amount of gas that the Zerg can get at any time as well. So very, very well done. We even see Rain pulling ahead here in workers.
Yeah, that's pretty rare to see in this matchup, and never a good thing for the Zerg.
And we could actually see a timing from this. I'm actually thinking we're going to see a timing from this before any sort of critical mass of Swarm Host or the item, the unit of choice RorO is going to go for. We could definitely see a Colossus timing. considering how many gateways have been added, considering we got charge on the way too, which is going to help him split push, going to help him kind of drop in the main while he barrels down and tries to kill that 4th base with the Colossi. And we do see more harassment with the Phoenix kind of on the mini-map. Haven't got a real idea of what's been happening there.
Yeah, well, let's see. I mean, the Warp Prism coming out here, the way it's rallied to follow makes me feel like this is definitely a timing, right? He's setting it to follow on these Colossi. He really wants to make this happen. You know, he wants to engage this as hard as he can. He's really committing. This is not going to be for harassment. It's not going to be for some sort of little sideshow. He's ahead in supply right now, and 5 Corruptors on the way versus this many Void Rays and this many Colossi. Really worried for RorO right now. The attack is barreling down now towards his 4th base. More harassment here in the main base. Again, cutting off that gas mining.
Wow.
He severely needs it right now.
Yep, exactly right. And this Warp Prism looks like it's going to go to the 3rd base.
Yeah, he re-rallied it, I guess.
Yeah. So he's going to do a warp in at the 3rd while attacking the 4th. I really like this, and this is exactly how Protoss get ahead and follow up with the better timing. Well, there's so many Zerglings on the map, and Corruptors were going to help a lot, obviously, against the Colossi. But because there's a Void Ray buffer, he can trade pretty well.
Rain actually losing a bit of confidence, backs off entirely. Even the Warp Prism is going a little bit back. Now the Zerglings coming out and trying to see where this army is. They do see it. Maybe he's just trying to reposition over to the right side, actually, and warp in a bunch over here to the left.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of the time attacks very successful at the naturals there because you can kind of cut through. You can get in there. You can also use the hatchery against the Zerg with force fields. You can you block the main base reinforcements from the main hatchery. His Macratch is in the main as well, so that's going to cut off a lot of reinforcements. So, and he knows that with his Phoenixes, he's spotted this. So I think this is part of the reason why he goes for this. But decides to recall, and he adds 2 Stargates at home.
Wow.
Not very confident here.
And look at this. Zealots are going to go into the 3rd or the 4th. 1 to the 3rd, rest to the 4th. And at the same time, we see a push on the natural of Rain, but Rain was completely ready for it.
Yeah, that recall helping him so much for that. Zealots now getting some kills.
Getting a lot of kills, in fact. All these drones, they're pretty alone, and now even 2 of these guys over at the 3rd base to get that Queen down.
Yep, Queen getting very low here. I think she's going to go down, and there she goes, and there's still no answer for these Zealots. They're getting a lot more drones, too. He turns his entire Roachling Mutaforce back here. This actually exposes his 5th base a little bit. Rain's still a little bit shy to engage.
And I mean, at the same time, this completely gave away the tech switch, the mutas. He knows exactly what's on the map now, and he put down 2 extra Stargates. He's going to have mass Phoenix production if he desires. And this is actually looking so good for Rain right now.
I think he's actually just going to commit to the attack. He's warping in more Stalkers instead of going Phoenixes at home. He wants to use all of his resources on this, saying, your Mulas are not going to be harassing me. They're going to actually have to go home. And if he tries to base trade, I've got Stargates. I've got a wall set up here. He needs to actually get this reinforced. So do you think he'll just recall now?
I think he will eventually, but I think he's got to kill more bases. I don't think he can base trade completely, so he will have to wait for recall. But I think getting rid of every base but the main is pretty damn good, good way to go about it. And to recall into the main, kind of reset the armies, reset the economy. But obviously, Rain is going to have a much better economy. A much better army, sorry.
Yeah, he has a much better army, but he is losing a lot. There's plenty enough energy for recall right now. And he's losing, like, not only his, his economy, but he's losing his entire production here.
Wait, he's losing the main. He's losing the main Nexus, which is going to be a big problem.
I can't believe he's going to try to base trade against this many Mulas. I mean, he has a better army, but still, it's a bit concerning. It's a bit alarming. He only has a few probes out on the map. He's got 2,300 resources, so these probes can build a lot if they survive.
Yeah.
If there's any way to build them. I mean, look at the creep. Where's he going to put all these buildings that he's trying to?
It's going to take some time for that to reseed.
Very, very true.
He could put down a pylon at the very least. And he could make a new whole base and kind of just camp it now, while the Zerg really has no bases but this one closest to the Protoss.
Worst case scenario, he could make an assimilator, but he's going to need to do it soon. He's actually being revealed. These are the last of his structures. He's not making anything.
Oh, he just made it. Oh, my God.
What a Nexus. Wow, I really like that.
That was actually giving me, like, that was stressing me. Oh, my God.
Okay, he had that pylon there.
Okay, I was like, no, I think
I thought he didn't have anything.
I was like, that's it.
I mean, at the same time, Rain has to be careful to trade with his whole army because that is still like a muterless Ling army that could trade very well if Rain is caught out of position. And looks like RorO is just going to go for the kill.
He's going to try to go for it, but it looked like Rain had a bunch of those
in a Warp Prism. It's in a Warp Prism, but what is it making? Where is it? Oh, he doesn't see the Nexus.
He needs to start. Okay, he makes a new Nexus up there. So he's got the Nexus up here. He's still got a lot of minerals to make more.
Okay, this hatchery, I think Jess has been scouted as well. Okay, no, that's a drone, so he hasn't seen the hatch yet. He's going to go make an extractor.
Yep.
Is that his last drone?
I think it may be. I only saw one. There's one over there towards the left base. If you see that little pink one, that may be a drone.
He actually can make nothing else after those 2 extractors, though, unless he cancels his hatch. And if he cancels his hatch, he can never make anything else the rest of this game.
Oh, I think he just saw it. If he sends like 1 zealot up there while defending his Nexus, he's going to be in such a great position.
All right, so there's the extractor here. Probe's going to see that. Stalker over here gets picked off.
Stalker over there, and now he's going to send a bunch of units over this Nexus, and he knows about the extractor as well with that War Prism, so he's got to be careful. He still has to make buildings. He's got a hidden Nexus over there to the right as well.
He's got a few probes, though. The Warp Prism is hidden to the top left. He could actually rebake his main base even, but he needs to get the probe out into a buildable location. He's going to drop it over there, as you can see here now.
Oh.
Very nice placement on that extractor down there in the bottom left.
This is so close if they turn around and see that Nexus, but I don't think they will. They're not looking for it. And they might actually try and fight the army here.
Oh, he's going to try to engage. That's a lot of Mutalisks here. How many Stalkers? That's the question underneath that ball. A ton of Mutalisks here. I think he actually might have too many Mutas.
It's looking so close. The Corruptor's doing a ton of damage to those Colossi as well. He now blinks away. He's going for the extractor.
He knows it. It's revealed. He knows about it. He's going to target it down. It's all down to this extractor. And here we go. The Stalker's starting to work at it. It's going down to 400 hit points. I'm not sure the Mutalisks can actually get back in time.
They're blinking forward. They're blinking on top.
Wait, he has a second extractor now.
It's in the main base. It's in the main base.
It's in the main base. He has to go there now. He has to get there right now. The Mutalisks are coming. And the Stalkers are caught.
Some of these Stalkers are caught. He's got some of them over to the left side as well. He's got Zealots as well running into the main base, but the Mutalisks are defending.
I don't think he can win this game now. And all he has to do is send a few Mutalisks to deal with the Nexus, and that's game.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to find the Nexus first, but...
where are the... How many probes? There are 3 probes.
Wait, it could be actually a stalemate at this point.
It could be. There are 3 probes on the map, and no drones.
Wow, if he actually splits up the Stalkers and like keeps the Zerg in his base, they could actually just time out at this point.
It could be,
And wait, does that mean each player gets a point?
No, the game will be redone if that happens.
Oh, man, that would have been amazing. That would have been like the greatest win for SKT ever.
Okay, so he's going to try to hide a Nexus, and if he does, then the Mutalisks may move, and then if that happens, then it's when he's going to go in for the snipe. Warp Prism here for just some extra vision. That's all it's going to be good for.
Now these Stalkers coming in towards the main base. Got to be so careful. So
Is he actually just going to go for it?
He's blinking in. He's blinking in. Focusing it down.
Oh, my God. He targets it down. It's going so low. And he gets
the win. Rain wins.
Oh, my God. Rain wins. SKT takes a 3-0. Oh, my God. What a finish. Oh.
What a win.
Oh, my God.
What a great way to end Pro League Round 4.
Wow. Oh,
that was incredible.
I need a moment to recover from what we just watched.
Such intelligent play. Really, really well done. And it was such a close engagement when trading armies. I mean, obviously, Su was so ahead. So Rain made a run for it, went for the extractor, kind of forced Su out of, forced RorO out of position here. And like, oh man, what a crazy game.
Crazy finish, man.
Wow. RorO's got to be kicking himself, man. Like, what could he have done to stop that? I think he just had to have a little bit better positioning on those mutas, like a little bit farther forward so he couldn't blink in.
Yeah, he really needed to have them kind of like spotting a lot more, not out of position completely.
I think actually if he just had like an arc of Mutalisks, he would always know which way the Stalkers come, because they can't trickle in and kill it, right? They have to go all at once. It has to be a burst, just like we saw. And, I mean, with Stalkers with that many upgrades, they do fast damage to structures.
It's just an extractor, you know? It's not like it's not a hatchery.
It's not an assimilator. Those have a lot more hit points,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
They're OP.
Proto Simba, man. No, I mean, I think even if the mutas were there, like, Stalkers had a chance to, like, actually DPS down.
Still would have been close. I mean, if you guys were watching, like, pretty much all the Stalkers survived and he still killed it. So.
Yeah.
He would have had to just be like pushing them away more actively, I think, just so that he couldn't blink in close.
Oh, that was a crazy finish, man.
What a finish. What a day. It went so fast, but it was so good.
It was so fast, but so good, man. Lightning fast in here at round 4. So, guys, we are going to take a look at the final standings in a moment, but take this moment to reminisce on exactly how awesome this round 4 has been. It has been a crazy ride, and definitely no end to the excitement here. It's going to get even better in the actual playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be so crazy.
And don't forget also, the playoffs will be an all-kill format. Winner stays, just like GSTL. You guys remember that amazing tournament that I commentated almost from start to finish?
Well, here are the results.
Yeah.
Harding beats Reality, an amazing fight there at the end. Definitely worth watching if you need to work on your micros of Protoss versus Terran. We got Sue over Stork on Frost. Very nice game there as well. And then Rain defeats RorO in one of the most exciting games we've ever had.
Yeah, that was an excellent finishing game there. Sue versus Stork, I think, weird as it is to say, probably the worst out of those 3 to watch. Definitely not as good as the first 2. And with this, SK Telecom secures first place with a +10. CJ is in second here with a +5. Jin Air in third, and then Samsung Galaxy Com down there in fourth. Still make it to the playoffs, but not able to get the spot that they wanted. They were going to have to fight their way from the bottom. And if you look at the very bottom of things, KT Rolster not in the top 4 for their first time. IM down there in 6th. Prime and MVP in 7th and 8th, respectively, down at the bottom.
KT Rolster not being in is definitely a big story. They still have enough points to make it into the final playoffs, but still, this is the first playoffs they haven't been in for the regular rounds, and it's got to hurt. It's going to ruin their momentum going into that final round. I mean, they'll have a lot of time to practice, I guess, but still.
Well, you're right, man. We'll see how this one goes. It's going to be a really exciting playoff. I will probably take a look at the brackets for that later, but you guys can figure it out from counting up from 4 to 1. As SK Telecom will be in the finals no matter what, and the other teams are going to fight it out to see who plays against them. We do see the SOS and Hero here top, tied there at the top. So I think they'll probably play it off to decide which one of those gets the #1 spot, which one gets the second one. We'll be updating you guys on that as soon as we know. You guys can follow